So the question is, should you accept being ugly or should you try to see yourself as beautiful? A lot of people, they have issues with calling someone ugly or below average because they think it's mean. Really, I personally don't feel like it's a mean thing to call someone below average because it's a descriptive term. We put people in categories all the time. We have, the really attractive model-esque people, we've got average people, we've got below average people, and we have ugly people. Ugly people, honestly, I feel like that's more reserved for, people with things that they genuinely cannot help, like, I don't know, deformities and things like that, which I will say I have no idea what it's like to have a deformity. That is a completely separate category, and I'm not going to speak on what it's like to experience the world from that point of view. I'm just talking from my point of view, and that would be a below average whatever person in a world where everyone is supposed to be perfect. So that's just my point of view. So talking about should we accept being ugly or below average or whatever, instead of saying the whole, everyone is beautiful, I'm beautiful, you're beautiful, whatever. Personally, I feel like that's a little bit narcissistic, and I feel like if we made it okay for people to be below average, then we wouldn't be having a conversation like this. We wouldn't be having a debate over if it's wrong to call someone below average as a descriptive term, when in reality we all know there is such a thing as below average and ugly. We know that there is, because why else would symmetrical faces be more attractive, like on average, to everyone? Or, why else would the beauty industry be making billions of dollars? It doesn't make sense. Of course there's an ideal, and of course everyone wants to meet it. Yes, it changes, but typically it doesn't fluctuate as much as you would think. For the most part, being beautiful has been, the right body proportions, curves in all the right places, not too skinny, not too big, not, very symmetrical faces, good facial structure, good cheekbones, good eyebrows, nice hairline. It's most of those things are a given. If you've got too big of a forehead, too big of a nose, too big of a chin, too big of a head, anything that's sort of out of place or exaggerated seems to be a bad thing when it comes to beauty. So of course we all have ideals. As long as everything is proportionate, I would say that most people who are proportionate and symmetrical would be considered beautiful. Now, people who are below average and ugly, my opinion, I feel like by society, obviously. Of course, certain things are subjective to certain people. I personally prefer larger noses and, wide jaws on women. That's just my personal preference, but I know that the vast majority of people are going to think that that's not attractive, and I understand that, Like, me personally, I like Roman noses. I think that they're really attractive, and I just like them on women. And I know that some people are going to argue, like, well, that's not, like, super feminine and stuff like that, and oh, well, you're over here talking about how, like, it's unattractive, but you like it. I never said that people couldn't have personal preferences, because they do. My point is about society as a whole. Most people can recognize what is considered attractive, and they treat those people accordingly. So someone who's like a model is probably going to be treated better than someone who's average or below average, just by everyone. So, and I'm not saying that being attractive is the only thing that's, worth it in life, because it's not. It obviously isn't. There are unattractive people with successful lives. It just makes it so much harder. If you're unattractive, people aren't going to give you that first chance. They'll look at you, and then it's almost like you don't matter. You have to literally pry your way into their lives before they give you any sort of chance. So I feel like if we made it more acceptable to, you know, call people what they are, looks wise, like, oh, well, I mean, it's, you know, I mean, she's not like a model or anything, she's decently attractive, or she's kind of unattractive, but I still find her attractive. I feel like if we made it okay for people to not look like, you know, Instagram models or whatever, people wouldn't be having such a difficult time getting over the way that they look. People wouldn't be crazy about it, you know, especially women. Especially women. We all have issues with not being perfect. I mean, it doesn't even matter what size you are. You could literally be an Instagram model and you would still fucking hate yourself. You know, it's just, that's just life being a woman. You know, you just wake up one day and you fucking hate yourself just because everyone tells you that you should. Anyway, so I personally feel like being ugly or below average or anything that's not exceptionally beautiful is not a crime. Is it difficult? Yeah. You're not going to be treated the same, which is why I want to raise awareness for that on this channel. I want to raise awareness for that on this channel. You know, that's the point of this channel. I know that I sit on here and it seems like I'm going on and on about like, oh yeah, I'm so ugly, blah, blah, blah. The whole point was to document how someone with both body dysmorphia and you know, being considered below average by society experiences life, because that has not been done. I don't think that anyone on YouTube has done that yet. Maybe they have and it just hasn't gotten a lot of views, and that's entirely possible. Lots of, you know, videos like this just don't get a lot of views because people who are super attractive are the ones that are getting the most attention. I just want to show like a bit of a flip side to that, to, you know, someone who's not as attractive with body dysmorphia, who has issues going out, and then, you know, also being sort of below average and just not really feeling like I've ever been enough. So that's the point of the channel. Anyway, back to my point of ugly and beautiful. I feel like if I'm going to have a goal, it should be to spread awareness for, you know, below average people, and the fact that they do, in fact, experience life differently from the average woman, you know, I guess. It's just different, you know. I think I'll probably do another video on what the differences are, you know, what attractive women say they experience. I have never experienced it. And then what I have experienced, plus, you know, a couple of my friends who say they're unattractive, I might include that if they would like me to. But overall, I feel like, you know, I mean, just us as women, there's so much pressure on us to be perfect 24/7, and if you're not perfect all the time, if you don't have the perfect face, you can't get over it. And the only way that we're going to get over it is to make it okay to just look like a normal person or a below average person, or you know, we need to make it okay to look like anything. Anything is okay. Anyway, so I guess that's the end of my rant for right now. Thank you for watching. I might upload soon, I might not. It is what it is. It's YouTube.